Lewis Hamilton's transition to Ferrari has certainly been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. The seven-time world champion has hit back at critics who question his ability to adjust to a new team after spending 12 years with Mercedes. With the 2025 season looming large for Ferrari, there's a question on everyone's mind. Can Hamilton deliver the goods? More importantly, can he rise above the challenges, especially the constant pressure? Hamilton's time at Ferrari has definitely had its rough patches. The most notable moment came when he secured a pole position and won a sprint race in Shanghai. But the fact that the car's performance changed so drastically in such a short period of time raised a few eyebrows. It left many wondering whether the team had learned anything from the sprint race, or if the drivers were just struggling to adapt to the changes. One thing is clear: the spotlight is firmly on Hamilton. Whether it's fair or not, his immense popularity means that expectations are sky-high from the very first race. Even though both Hamilton and team principal Fred Vasseur warned that it would take time for Lewis to get used to the car's behavior, it seems like the critics couldn't wait to jump in. After just 2 races with Ferrari, Hamilton found himself dealing with a wave of negativity. When asked about those who doubted his ability to perform with Ferrari, Hamilton shared his frustration. He pointed out the toxic nature of modern-day criticism, saying, "It's just the times we live in. People love to be negative, even about the smallest things. I see certain people I've looked up to, just making wild, uneducated guesses about what's happening." The situation surrounding Hamilton's move to Ferrari has been met with mixed reactions, particularly in his home country, Great Britain. While many fans understand the difficulties Hamilton faced at Mercedes in recent years, there's also a sense that his decision to join Ferrari has been seen as a betrayal by some. This has been tough for Hamilton and his loyal supporters to swallow, especially since he felt that Mercedes didn't listen to his needs when it mattered most. Now, as he seeks success with a new team, he's being painted in a much harsher light. But regardless of the outside noise, the show must go on, and Hamilton's new chapter is now firmly underway at Ferrari. Despite the rocky start, there's no denying that Hamilton has made significant progress with the team. Expectations were that there would be a noticeable gap between him and teammate Charles Leclerc in the early races, but so far, the gap seems smaller than anticipated. In both single-lap performance and race simulations, Hamilton is proving that he's not far behind Leclerc. In Shanghai, Hamilton had to sacrifice his position for the sake of team strategy, but the media portrayed it as him being ordered to let Leclerc pass, which led to some negative coverage. But, as always, it seems Hamilton is at the center of the storm, even when he's simply playing the team game. Hamilton expressed that he feels underappreciated for the efforts he's put in to adapt to Ferrari, especially considering his age, and the massive challenge of switching teams after such a long time. At 40, making a seamless transition to a team with a completely different setup and car characteristics isn't something that can be done overnight. He explained, "It's a real lack of appreciation. Moving to a new team, one that operates so differently with a car that behaves in ways I'm not used to, is no easy task. It's not just about jumping in and being good to go. Look at Vettel or Alonso. They did great in their early days with new teams, but long-term success takes time. Hamilton is taking a patient approach, focusing on building something sustainable with Ferrari rather than rushing to make an immediate impact. However, he knows all too well that Ferrari fans expect nothing less than a championship, both drivers' and constructors' titles. After 2 races, it might seem like a distant goal, but the season is long, and Ferrari has many upgrades planned that could make the SF25 much more competitive as the season progresses. Still, it's clear that Mercedes seems to have the upper hand in pure pace for now, although it's too early to make definitive judgments based on just 2 race weekends. Despite the early setbacks, Hamilton and Ferrari have shown that they can hold their own. The performance comparison between the 2 Ferrari drivers has been a key point of discussion. In China, Leclerc was significantly faster than Hamilton, In the main race, even though Hamilton had a better showing in the sprint race earlier in the weekend. This inconsistency has raised concerns, particularly because it shows how much the car's performance can vary. There are two major takeaways from this. First, Ferrari's cars seem to perform well despite having a broken front-end plate during the race, and second, Hamilton's trust in the SF25 has been shaken after such rapid changes in performance. These kinds of fluctuations in performance are concerning for Ferrari if they are aiming to compete for championships. The team cannot afford to have such wild swings if they want to stay in the title hunt. One of the loudest critics of Ferrari's performance is Jeremy Clarkson, who has emphasized the importance of Ferrari's success, not just for the team, but for the entire sport. Ferrari is more than just a business. It represents the heart and soul of Formula One. For Hamilton, this pressure only intensifies the expectations, and the world was watching as he took pole position and won the sprint race in Shanghai. However, just a few hours later, he qualified fifth for the main race and was overtaken by his teammate, leading to a disappointing finish. The dramatic shift in Hamilton's performance on the same race weekend left many scratching their heads. How could he go from hero to zero in just a few hours on the same track? It didn't seem to make sense, especially when the team had seen such success just moments before. This inconsistency is something Ferrari will need to address as the season progresses. As the F1 circus moves toward Suzuka, Ferrari will look to exploit the strengths of their car, particularly in medium and high-speed corners. The Chinese Grand Prix offered valuable lessons, and the team is optimistic about applying these insights to improve the SF25's performance. Hamilton remains positive about the potential within the team, emphasizing that the learning curve is steep but promising. "There's so much potential in this team," he said. "Having that experience so early in the season is huge. China's a track I've done well on for years, so it's good to take something from that." He also expressed confidence in his growing understanding of the car's setup, which will help him in future races. Despite the setbacks, Hamilton believes that Ferrari's fortunes can improve as they continue to develop the car and adjust to the challenges they face. The reactions to Hamilton's move to Ferrari have been mixed, especially in his home country, Great Britain. While many understand the challenges Hamilton faced at Mercedes, there's a belief that his move to Ferrari has been seen by some as a betrayal. It's a tough pill for Hamilton and his fans to swallow, particularly after feeling ignored by Mercedes when it mattered most. Now, as he seeks success with Ferrari, he's been painted in a much harsher light. But the race continues, and Hamilton's journey with Ferrari is just getting started. Despite the early struggles, Hamilton has shown steady progress with Ferrari. Expectations were that there would be a noticeable gap between him and teammate Charles Leclerc, but the gap has been surprisingly narrow. Both in qualifying and race simulations, Hamilton has been competitive. In Shanghai, he had to give up his position for team strategy, but the media spun it in a way that painted him negatively. Yet again, it seems Hamilton finds himself at the center of a storm, even when playing the team game. As the season moves forward, Ferrari's development will be key to their success. With plenty of upgrades on the horizon, the team is aiming to make the SF25 a more competitive machine. Hamilton remains optimistic about the team's potential, even though he knows it will take time to build long-term success. But with the fans' expectations always high, the pressure is on to deliver results sooner rather than later.